at this point you should be comfortable spinning files around in SolidWorks and still have the assembly of the Stirling engine open. If you closed it accidentally and forget how to reopen it, jump back to section 2, opening your first file in SolidWorks. Now, to make sure we're both looking at the model in the same orientation, click the front face of the flywheel and select Normal 2. The first thing that I want to draw your attention to is the Command Manager, and that is the menu bar above the graphics area. If you don't have a Command Manager, or you do, but the icons are small, simply right-click over any of the icons or menus in the top portion of the SolidWorks window. And make sure there's a check marks next to Command Manager and Show Large Icons. The Command Manager works much like the toolbar ribbon in Microsoft Office 2007. It's divided into tabs, each with a set of tools. If your screen resolution is too small to show all of the icons on the tab, then you will need to use the arrows at the end of the tab to see the remaining icons on that tab. For now, let's just make sure that we have the Assembly tab selected. Now, what I want you to do next is click and hold the flat front face of the flywheel and begin to move your mouse to the right. You should now be rotating the flywheel. Watch as the piston goes up and down. Release the mouse and let's rotate the view around to the back side. Click and hold one of the connecting rods and move it. You're probably going to find that getting a fluid motion by moving the connecting rod up and down is far more difficult. This is important to remember, because any situation that results in a mechanical advantage in the real world is one that's going to give you more accurate control when moving your SolidWorks model. In the introduction I said that the assembly file is basically an instruction manual on how the parts relate to each other. We've now seen that in action, with the piston going up and down as we rotated the flywheel. Also, while we were rotating the flywheel, you may have noticed that the Move Component icon automatically became active on the Assembly tab of the Command Manager. So, there are some commands in SolidWorks that automatically become active based on how we're interacting with the model. I should mention the Assembly tab did not need to be selected for this to happen. I merely had you select the Assembly tab so you could see it happening. The other thing that happened when we selected the flywheel is the part for the flywheel became selected over on the feature tree. And this brings us to a whole new aspect of SolidWorks. The feature tree in an assembly lists all of the parts in that assembly. Or in this case, even an assembly within an assembly, referred to as a subassembly. The plus and minus sign allows us to expand and collapse the children of that subassembly. So that gives us our brief overview of assemblies. And with that, we're going to leave the assembly open and move on to looking at parts.